Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us this lovely Sunday evening. I hope wherever you are, the weather is as beautiful as it is here.
We are in, or very close to, just across the water here from Bar Harbor, Maine. And let's say hi to a bunch of folks who are with us actually tonight. Everybody say hello. Yeah. These are all some of the campers from our fantasy RV tour of the Maritimes, which is going to take off the day. Well, actually, it starts tomorrow.
Afternoon.
Starts tomorrow.
We have an orientation meeting.
And what do we have besides an orientation meeting? A lobster dinner. Yes. Actually, we had lobster last night. We got in yesterday, Jen and I did. And we had lobster. And
it was very good, very expensive, but very good.
Now they say Maine lobster, everybody says it's Maine lobster's good, but where we're going in the Maritimes is supposed to be the best lobster in the world, as well as clams and scallops. So seafood. Oh no, you can have your Nantucket Bay scallops. We're gonna have Prince Edward Island scallops, and we'll give it a quick try. So welcome, everybody. We are glad you are with us, and we hope wherever you are, as Jennifer said, you're having great weather. Let's do a quick check of some of the comments and questions. And you guys out there, as we're going, if you hear anything and you have a question, holler, and we will. You get to get bumped ahead of the online audience with your questions. So let's start off. Linda Ward, who is supposed to be with us. Linda, why aren't you here? She's in Booth Bay Harbor,
about 100 miles south of us.
And she said they had a beautiful day. We're all here in coastal Maine. That noise you hear is Jerry and Susie Wilson's air conditioner. It's about that loud. Not quite. There's an airport over there.
That's a way to treat a friend. You don't want to be his friend.
Ron Rajaka.
Hello, Mike and Jed. I hope you have smooth sailing and everyone else doing the maritime trip with you.
Anybody have any adventures coming here? Any problems? What happened?
The slide?
Oh, wait a minute. We all got, this is my theory that something goes wrong on every single trip. And if it doesn't, count it as like here. What happened?
The slide mechanism broke. We had to have a trip to to get the slide cable.
Oh, slide. I don't know if you all heard that, but he basically, for the online audience, that the slide cable broke. They had to go to a dealer and get a new cable. I had to get a new cable for mine about 2 months ago. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't carry as many tools.
That's right. Well, that is great. So you got it. Anybody else have any problems? Jack? A cracked windshield. Did you get it fixed? Wow. So those are all, I think, private jets, if I'm not mistaken, from the Bar Harbor airport. And those are all the elites who have multi-million-dollar places here in coastal Maine.
You know, I was wondering who had all these jets.
Yeah, not us.
Oh, yeah. As tourists, they wouldn't be that noisy.
Yeah, those are all nice jets. Despina Reyes is who's supposed to also be here.
Hello from across the bridge at Mount Desert Narrows campground.
She's just that way.
Can't wait to join the group.
A quarter
tomorrow.
mile.
I think there are about 5 or 6 people that are on.
Most came early to this. Now, for those of you who are online, wonder what we're talking about. We take off. It really starts tomorrow. Then we go into Canada on Tuesday. We'll be spending about 22 days in Maritime Canada, and we're just along with everybody else. We're not organizing this. We just announced that we're going, and all these other folks came, and this will be with Fantasy RV Tours. We'll have an interview on the podcast on Wednesday of this week that talks about how these tours work. But essentially, there are, I think, a couple dozen of us. You'd know how many we got in this group, Tim?
25 units altogether.
That's Tim.
Tim, 49 people.
Tim right here is our tail gunner, and his wife Cindy coming up. And come here just a second. Tell everybody what a tail gunner does. I got to get you.
our main job is to help the wagon masters who lead the tour.
Now, wait a minute. And a wagon master is?
The wagon master are the leaders of the tour. They're the ones who basically do everything for the tour. But our main job will be following up everybody from campground to campground.
So if there's a problem,
Yep.
you're there to.
If you have issues or whatever, get stuck on the side of the road, we'll be there to hopefully help you or help you get somebody who can help you.
Tail gunners, Tim and
you're going to
Cherry.
be
And
after Mike because he's going to be dawdling, taking pictures, and you're going to have to tell him to get
That's
going.
all right. Keep it moving along.
yeah,
So this is Sherry.
And
yep.
Sherry.
Tim and Sherry are
Tim
tail
and Sherry.
gunners, and so they one at the top and one at the bottom, and we kind of all go off whenever we want to drive off. It's at our own pace, and they'll tell us. We'll all learn more about
I
that.
think that is such a good policy to have somebody in the front in case there's some issue, and then one person, whoever is last, you're behind them.
Yep.
Because nobody's going to be left behind.
Yeah. So this looks fun. The weather on this trip out for us has been phenomenal. Every day has been great. Massive heat. As we came out of the Midwest, we've come about 1,200 miles from Michigan, and we did, and we'll tell you all in the podcast, we did follow the 3:30 rule.
We did.
Pretty close.
I'm so happy.
And we took really 4 days to get out here, and it was great. And we traveled a lot of it with the Wilsons, our neighbors. It was fun, wasn't it? Yeah, we stayed some great spots, and it was good. Johnny Lightning's checking in online.
Hey, all. Coming to you from the middle of the mitten.
Michigan.
Hope everyone is having a good week.
Houghton Lake, someplace up that way. Richard Carrero.
Hello from Old Orchard Beach Campground in Maine. Sadly, it is our last day of a week camping in the area.
Temperature today, well, right now it's 72 degrees, and it's just perfect. I mean, it's perfect. So, Richard, you had a great week in Maine, and I can imagine how sad it is to go home. Randy Dexter.
Hello from North Carolina. We just finished another boondocking at a winery. Thanks for the updates on your Canadian Maritimes trip.
Well, we would love to have you with us. Maybe we do another one, Randy. Sharon Childress.
Have a great trip. Wish we could be there with you. We'll enjoy hearing all about it.
Well, we will do our best to update it. We're coming to you tonight. I don't know how our video looks to y'all, but we're coming to you tonight through Starlink. And how many of you guys here, I'm really curious, how many of you have Starlink? 1, 2. Well, that'd be one group. Just two? Just 2 out of all of it? And then us. And then I know, I think our wagon masters also have Starlink. They don't. Oh, my goodness. Well, they probably will want it after they see how good it works. I got to quit taking the camera off of this because it's hard to put it back on. There we go. Starlink has made all the difference in the world for us and traveling and being able to work on the road. Mine is mounted up at the top of our RV. I don't think you can see it from here. No, you can't.
Climb up the back.
Climb up the here. I'll give you the camera. You can climb up the back. That'd be great. Kathy Chanteau.
It looks like all is going well. We'd love to see the Lost Kitchen in Maine.
What's the Lost Kitchen in Maine? Does anybody know? It's a restaurant. I should know. Kathy is a foodie. Yeah, that's a where?
Probably north, what is it? From Maine.
Someplace in Maine. We were in a part of Maine that's called Down East because east is actually down the way that the state runs. This is the most eastern part of the United States. And so they call this area Down East. So when we leave on Tuesday, we will enter Canada and we go ahead an hour to Atlantic Standard Time. So I didn't realize that. So that means that on our time, we'll be coming to you next week at 6. From Floyd in the community, Floyd, the RV lifestyle community, is a question.
How are you planning on using your GMRS radio? And what was your other antenna for?
I think he's talking about the video I released yesterday that showed what I wanted to hook up on my truck. And I didn't have time to get the antenna mount that I wanted before this trip, which would be for a dual antenna, one for amateur radio and one for GMRS. So I set up a small temporary GMRS radio, but GMRS stands for General Mobile Radio Service, and it's kind of CB on steroids, except you don't have the truckers and you don't have the noise and just the mayhem of CB radio. It's a little longer range. It's clearer communications, and we'll all be using it pretty much here with just these little handy walkie-talkies. Many of them are in the family mobile radio service, so you don't need a license for those. And you can encode those so that you only transmit a code and only other people with that code on the radio hear you, so you don't get any interference. But it's just it's a safety way for the tail gunners and the wagon masters, the people at the head and the back, to kind of keep track of who's along the way, who's left, when we leave a campground, when we come into a new one. And as we see each other on the road, we'll have a number. Everybody's rig has a number on it. We'll be able to communications there. Just a handy way to do it. And I suppose we could use it in the campground. We can use it in the campground. We could party at the Wilsons tonight. Number 25. Everybody in Maine, come on over. Carol 5.
Hello, Mike and Jen. I see Susie in the crowd.
Yep. Carol 5 says hello. Carol's one of our regulars at our gatherings. Jenna Berry King.
Let's see, 2 months into our summer cross-country road trip and made it through 100+ temperature, wildfires, earthquakes, national parks, and now we caught COVID. But at least we are sick in beautiful weather of Santa Barbara.
Oh, that's not a bad place to be if you're going to have COVID, and you can just open up the windows and look out at the scenery and enjoy it. That's great. I'm sorry you have it. Jeff Carey.
Jen and Mike, have a safe and wonderful trip. How is the new truck pulling? And is it what you expected? And how has Bo picked his spot?
It's been great. It's known officially now as the Beast. Here we go again. And there it is. It is sitting out there, and it has been awesome. It's a Ford F-350, and the long bed really tows much more stable than the short bed F-250 that we had before that. I've been very pleased with it.
He is about as happy as he can be.
Well,
No.
yeah.
You just keep saying how nice it pulls, and
well, you're the passenger. What do you think?
it rides nicely.
Is it more comfortable?
It is more comfortable.
Yeah.
But I'm not allowed to drive it yet.
And it probably won't be until you grow up. When you're a big girl. No. Man, you think I'm going to get in trouble with that one, huh? Yeah.
He doesn't know when to stop.
Yeah. I think I'm going. I shouldn't have a live audience because I'm going to start making big mistakes. But no. But you're welcome to drive it anytime you want. You did like the 250.
Well, the 250, I wasn't allowed to drive it until we went to Hershey, and you drove back.
Another RV.
Another RV, and I got to drive 500 miles. I said, just throw me in off the dock.
But it was a turnpike, so
Yeah,
just
it was easy.
straight along. Yeah, that was great.
It was easy, and then I love the thing.
And has Bo picked his spot? Well, Bo's the same. It's the same. He doesn't think there's any difference. Same back seat.
He sits up like a big boy. He's so cute. We could sell posters of him. He sits up right behind Mike and looks out the window.
You'll see a video of, we kind of did a video as we were coming out here, following our 3:30 rule. And we'll share that. It'll be out on next Saturday. Just started editing it today here in Maine. And we'll try and get it done. Kathleen Nemi.
Hi, it looks like beautiful weather. As I already told you, we're on our way for what?
Next week's caravan. Are they
next
part of
week's
our group?
caravan.
Nemi? Yeah.
We left our outdoor chairs behind. Any recommendations for new ones we can grab?
Well, you don't have time to have one shipped to you. So, Walmart, Kmart, no, there isn't a Kmart. Walmart has them. Tractor Supply has them. Any of the big box stores that you find will still have lawn chairs, outdoor chairs that you can get. I don't think you'll have any problem at all. Camping supply stores, if you're coming to Maine, there's a million of those, small ones, big ones. And I'm sure if you're in this, I don't know if you're in our tour, but somebody's probably got one that you can borrow as well. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. But
We always forget something.
Walmart's good. Menards has them. You won't have any fun. You just have to make a
So
trip
it
out there.
sounds like you have chairs that you don't keep in your RV. So maybe now you'll have a couple chairs in your RV.
Yeah, that's great. That you won't
And
lose
if you
them
want to
around.
bring your chairs at home, you'll oh, Bo, you old hound dog.
I knew that was going to happen.
Bo, be quiet. Quiet.
Hey, hey, hey. She's got everybody.
I
Well,
know.
there's a
she's
golden
very
retriever.
pretty
He
girl.
likes that golden retriever.
She's
so.
a very pretty girl. isn't
Johnny
she?
Lightning
Yeah.
wants to know, how long will your string of RVs be, and will they all be together?
Oh,
No, they aren't on a string. Everybody just kind of goes on your own time.
Bo, quiet.
Trust me, if it was a string, we would turn off because we are not gonna. I think we
Bobo.
need to put him in probably. So you can kind of take the next question.
Oh, you can
I'll-
take it. I'll get the boy.
I'll put.
Bobo,
Oh, he's got Zuka driver barking too. Yeah.
Bobo, be quiet.
So yeah, that would not be fun for I don't think anybody
Bobo.
to travel. It's too
Can you
hard.
get over here?
Let alone, at least for us, it's too hard for us to figure out where we're going, let alone to have to be thinking about others. So,
Yeah, you usually have a 2 to 3 hour time period where you're
yep.
supposed to leave.
I don't know if you caught what Tim said basically over there, but basically it's about a 2 or 3 hour time period, and everybody just leaves whenever they want. And some people will travel together, and others not. And knowing us, we'll be stopping every 10 minutes to take video and wander off wherever we smell a bakery or something. So that will be good. Janet Matthews is in southeastern Michigan. She says she wishes she was there. Have a great time in the Maritimes. I know, Janet, you've been here many times. Any of you guys been here before to the Maritimes?
Wait.
No? Oh, even our tail gunners haven't been here. Oh, great. Great. So to Acadia National Park, which is like, we're actually looking at it if we go turn the camera on there. So Tim, what are some of the activities that we're going to be able to do on this trip?
Can you hear me?
Why don't you come on over and sit right here for a second while,
Okay.
while Jennifer.
See what happens?
You lost your seat now.
Yeah, you can just grab right there and I'll
Okay.
get you. And again, everybody, this is Tim. Tim is our tail gunner. So tell everybody what happens on a trip like this. I mean, besides we go there, but we're not traveling very far each day, right?
Right. Yeah. Most of our travel days are between 1 to maybe 300 miles. And not just this trip, but other fantasy RV trips too.
Between
100
100 and 300.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And some of the activities we'll do, at least on this, like we'll go to Flower Pot Rocks is what it's called. It's just great big rocks out in the middle of the ocean. And it's actually, when the tide is out, we will walk between these rocks out on the dry ground. And then later, it's as an option. If you signed up for it, you can go on a kayak trip. They'll start you right sitting on the ground and get you ready. They put you in a skirt on the kayak, and then
They don't put me in a dress skirt.
No,
It's a
a
skirt
skirt-
on the
a
over the
skirt
kayak.
for the kayak to keep water from filling into the kayak.
Ah,
So then you'll be sitting there, and they'll be going over all the safety tips or whatever, telling you about the kayak trip. And by that time, you're floating. The
Really?
tide has come in enough, and you just paddle off. And now we're paddling through where we had walked earlier in the day.
now there's also, is it the Bay of Fundy where we have that massive tide that comes in?
Bay of Fundy is the largest tide in the world, from what I've heard. It's 54 feet or something like that.
Amazing.
So twice a day, that water's come up 56 feet and drop back down 56 feet.
That's just almost impossible. Even here, right here at the
Yeah,
thing,
we
did you notice how far out the tide was this morning, and then it was in, and now it's way out again. So
Yeah, we have about a 10 to 12 foot tide here. So
Yeah.
that's 56 feet. So imagine.
so there's whale watching,
Yeah,
lots of lobster, lots of scallops,
Yep.
and
There's a
tours, and
sailboat cruise you can go on.
hikes.
Yep, hikes.
Yeah.
What else? Let me think. What other?
The Titanic Museum.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
it's my-
Titanic Museum. Yeah.
Sherry's excited about seeing the Titanic Museum. She's loves that movie. So,
Anne of Green Gables' home,
Anne
the
of Green
author of that.
Gables home. At the Titanic Museum, there is the burial ground where all
Most
of
of them, yeah.
the bodies that were recovered are buried.
Well, thank you for
So,
giving me
you
that.
bet.
That's great. That's great. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of the stuff that we're gonna do over the next couple of weeks. We hope to give you shots and videos of as much of it as we can find, but it will be a lot of fun. All right, let's go back to some of your questions and your comments that are out there. Craig Ferguson.
We're planning a trip to the Northeast. Definitely looking forward to spending some time in Maine on the coast. We can't wait. Hope everyone stays safe and has a great time.
We do too. We do too. Hey, we were just talking about you. Come on over and just say hello to our group for a second. We met Tim and Sherry, and here comes our wagon masters, and we need you to meet
Should I
Ken
move
and
again?
Holly.
I'll
Well,
move
they can
again?
stand right behind us here, and they can see the
Okay.
camera. So we just wanted to say, we just tell them right there. You go.
Yeah.
This is Holly and Ken. They are our wagon masters, and we learned what a tail gunner does. What does a wagon master do?
We lead the group.
You lead the group. You're the master of the group.
Yep.
Every night we circle around and protect ourselves from crazies out there and the wildlife that's everywhere. But that's great. Have you guys done this tour before?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you?
Yep.
So will we see wildlife on this trip?
Good possibility.
What is the wildlife out here?
Probably bear would be your most common, and possibly a moose.
Bear, moose?
Yeah, our hope is to see a moose, and every time we're up here, we have not. So it would be great if we did,
That is great.
but
What, you have a lot of excited people, are we not? That's great.
well,
And-
we're just as excited for you guys.
yeah, yeah. Right now, the thing I'm looking forward to most is tomorrow night's lobster dinner, though. So
Yep.
we're in Maine, and they tell me it's even better in the Maritimes, the lobster. Is that
Yep.
true?
Yep.
That's
The
great.
food is outstanding up there.
Awesome.
It's going to be great.
Well, thank you guys for saying hi. Now you
thank
see
you.
you
All
met our
right.
wagon masters and our tail gunners, and here come all the troublemakers right here. This is the group. This is my group. Yeah, our friends. Yeah. So it is going to be fun. All right, let's go back. There's lots of you who are making comments. Craig Doms with a comment.
Welcome to the Maritimes, Mike and Jennifer. Really hope you enjoy Canada.
Yep. I've had a couple of notes from people who live up in that area who've asked if we could do one of our own meetups with people. And maybe when we are in Halifax, that's the big city. Is that it? Yeah. Somebody wrote me a note that there's a brewery in town, and would we come by and say hello? And if we do, we'll let you know. We'll post it on our social media.
So it's
but-
one of our free meals, either a lunch or a dinner that we're not something scheduled.
Right. When we have time, we
So
would just
when
come
we
by
have free
and hang
time.
out. And, we'll hang out and let you know. For those of you who live in Canada and would like to get a chance to meet us. Chris Mondo Biondo.
Hello, good evening, RV lifestyle friends.
Chris is in Kansas, and he's a guy on our RV lifestyle community that kind of helps keep us aware of all the nasty weather that's coming around there. If you have not been a part of our community, this is a good time for you to sign up and join. It's like our Facebook group. The Facebook group, is like 450,000 now, and it's so unmanageable. I don't know
I
how
think
else
that's enough
to
to say.
describe.
It's hard to manage.
Susie is nodding. She's one of our moderators, but yes, I mean, it's insane. But our Facebook group, Facebook, they only show your post to a small percentage of the members in our community. If you put a post, everybody can see it. It's much more friendly. I think much more helpful. It's all free. You can go and join it. community.rvlifestyle.com. We'll be doing some live feeds through the community and also on YouTube as well. And that should be good. I should remind everybody that we have written a book on coastal Maine. We've been here to Maine several times. And if you are thinking about, you'll be seeing some of the videos that we've shot along the way here in Maine, and you're interested, you can pick up our RV guide to coastal Maine at that thing. Back to questions. Let's see. Diane Serling.
My husband and I are taking this same fantasy trip August 2025.
Well, I hope I don't break anything along the way for you, Diane. But if I do, I'll let you know. But that's great. That should be a great month too. I'm sure you'll have a great time.
August.
There's a number of them. The fantasy has several they have a longer one. This is 27 days, and there are some longer ones. This one will end in middle of August. We're somewhere up on Prince Edward Island. and then we will probably all take different routes back to wherever we came from, and we're going to try and explore Canada a little bit to the west, and then come back down to the Upper Peninsula, I think. All right, Eric Miller with an important question for anybody who's planned to go to Canada this year.
What did you do to make sure Bo makes it back into the U.S.? Poor Bo had to get a microchip.
Well, which is a good thing to have. Every dog should have a
we
microchip.
considered it in the past, but for some reason we never got around to doing it. But the only thing we didn't appreciate was that he just had a 3-year rabies vaccine in January. He had to get the microchip, and then he had to get another rabies vaccine.
Even though he was covered for 3
need
years.
it.
This is all part of some new regulations that were imposed
This is where
by
you see.
the CDC. What you just didn't see was Jennifer, you saw. She thinks I'm going to go. I'm not going to get political. I'm just saying the CDC is.
This is the dumbest
I don't
thing you
have to
ever
get-
heard.
Well, it is the dumbest thing you ever heard. But you know, it's the government. You know, it's okay. We're used to it, right? But I mean, there's always a good intention behind it, and their intention was they don't want rescue dogs from overseas that have rabies being brought into the country. However,
So grandma and grandpa with
so grandma and grandpa with our pets, Elizabeth there with her very dangerous little beagle that's sitting on her lap. Where are you, Elizabeth? Can you show the puppy? Show everybody. There he is. Oh, yeah. So to bring our dogs, but this starts August 1st. No problem bringing the dog into Canada, but now to come back after August 1st,
into the United States.
you have to have a health form that certifies the number of the microchip in the dog, the rabies vaccine, which was done after the microchip was put in, and then it has to be sent to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and then they have to endorse that with your vet's signature, and then they send you a form back. The forms were not even available until last week. However, I got mine back by email, and I had to go buy a printer to print it out. Did you get a form for your dog? How are you going to get your dog?
One they make registered between up to 10 days before you cross the border.
No, you have to have a form. You need to have them microchipped and I think I'll talk to you later on it. But so we've done all that with Bo, and we do have the forms, and it is a time of great
you're pushing your
confusion
luck.
to a lot of people.
No.
I'm sure it'll all work out, you know, after August 1st. But like for people who are going to be
No.
in Canada before this takes effect, and then after,
Bo, it's just a little baby. Stop it.
there's a little dog about that big walking by. But so that's what we've done with Bo, and I'm sure that most of the folks, everybody here has done it. They want to bring their dogs back with them. Pam Danko.
Should check out the Guardians of the
Seed exhibit at the Coastal Maine Botanical Gardens.
okay.
I don't know where that is. Anybody know where that is? Guess
Okay.
we're not going to check that out then, Pam.
Well, we can go online and you can
But I don't know what that would be. It sounds interesting. Emily Heimer.
we're looking forward to following your adventures because we are going next year with Fantasy Tours in the Maritime. This will be their 50th wedding anniversary.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Anybody here going to have a birthday or an anniversary during the trip? What
birthday?
are you guys having?
My birthday, August the 2nd, and our anniversary, August the 21st.
Yeah. And how about you?
Birthday, August 3rd, and then our anniversary, we're still going to be out and about on September 6th.
I got to find. Oh, there you are.
49 years.
49 years. Yeah. And Elizabeth?
Well, my husband died just over a year ago after 40 years of marriage. But we celebrated 3 anniversaries.
Aw.
First day, our engagement, and our wedding.
So
And our birthday was
a bunch of folks celebrating stuff. I can't keep all of their dates straight, but I know somebody else is celebrating an anniversary on this trip too.
Us. Yeah.
Don't ask me what day though. No.
He always gets it wrong.
August 6th. August 6th. Yes.
Yeah, a little help there.
Thanks. I had a teleprompter.
I was saying to Mike, I wonder how this is gonna rack up, because the most exciting anniversary that I remember was we were flying to Zimbabwe, Africa, on British Air.
Is that when the plane lost its engines?
No, that was when we were on. That was when we were on Air Zimbabwe.
Oh, that was.
We
but
were
it
on
wasn't-
British Air,
oh.
and we told them that we were going to catch a plane on Air Zimbabwe, and both flight attendants laughed.
and they gave us the big bottle of champagne because they said you're going to need it.
And then when we were on Air Zimbabwe, one of the engines went out, and we're like, "Oh boy!"
And it was,
Yeah,
it was
that
was a grand adventure.
that was quite.
We'll
an
have to use
adventure.
that for one of our Mike and Jen's story times and the thing. Cliff Doms with the question.
When will you be in Halifax, and are you going to the Hershey RV show?
We'll be in Halifax in a couple weeks. I don't know. Couple. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
next
yeah.
Sunday.
We'll announce that next Sunday. And if you're there, Cliff, you know, again, we have some downtime. They don't, you know, you're allowed to go do whatever you want on these tours too. And we'll probably, if there is place, we'll do our best to find a local spot to come by and hang out with everybody for a while. But if we have any followers there in Halifax, so and the Hershey RV show, probably. But we've got a ton of things that happen as soon as we get back. The Hershey RV show is big, but really for us, RV dealer open house in Elkhart is more important to us than Hershey. You see more new RVs there because that's when they show them all to the dealers who come into town than at the Hershey show, which is a public show. For sure, we'll be at the Tampa RV show. We do that every year. That's, I think, the biggest and the most influential of them now. But
I think the biggest draw to me for the Hershey show is all the people from the eastern part of the country that we get to meet.
yep, and it is fun because a lot of folks from the east just never get out that.
Just like when we
road.
used to have shows out in California, then we met all these folks that we never see because we always seem to stay in the middle part of the country.
Yeah, but probably Cliff, but for sure we'll be at Elkhart, which is the next day, and then we have one of our gatherings in Florida the first week of October. So trying to juggle all that, and what we've really done, I can't believe that we've done this. We've actually thought this through, and we've given ourselves lots of pad time after this trip leaves, so that we can enjoy our trip back home and go from there. So hopefully we'll see everybody there. All right. Let's see. Despina says the Lost Kitchen is in Freeport, Maine, which is also where the LL Bean store is. That's 150 miles from us. So
South.
south of us.
Yeah.
So
I was bummed. I wanted
yeah.
to stop at the LL Bean store.
you know, the LLB store is open 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And they also do something that is really amazing if you're in this part of Maine, is they operate a bus and shuttle service that is phenomenal. It's free, and it will take you from here, for example, it'll pick you up at the campground or other campgrounds or hotels or wherever you stay, and will drive you into the Bar Harbor, which can get very congested. It'll take you to Acadia National Park, and they have been doing that. I think they spend, I read someplace, $6 million a year that they spend for people to so that it doesn't get too crowded and too crazy.
And they're all dog friendly.
And they're all dog friendly. The shuttles are. Did you do one today?
We go on there, yeah.
Oh, good.
You think they'd let Bo on?
Okay. James Massey.
How's Starlink doing on your trip? Have fun from Texas.
Well, it's right now. It's been just great. In fact, it's been the whole trip. That's all I've used. I seldom use Wi-Fi in a campground, and you know, it's the only downside to Starlink is if there's a lot of tree cover over you. And other than that, it works great. The system I have is I have the large antenna, and it's permanently mounted on the roof, and then I have it with a PepLink router, and it actually will take the best of T-Mobile, the best of Verizon or AT&T, and then it meshes that with Starlink, and it kind of fuses them together, and it gives you a connection that is smooth. Hopefully you're seeing great video quality out there. So,
And don't worry, James, because he brings a big chainsaw.
Yeah, that tree out of there. Yeah. That's the only downside to it is trees. But it works great. It works. I've been very happy with it. Meadowbrook Guide Service.
Where in Maine are you?
Right now we are in officially, what's the name of the city? Trenton, Maine, but that's really Bar Harbor or Ellsworth, which is, they're all straight together. So that's where we are now. And it's a great state. I forgot how much I like Maine, how much we like Massachusetts and New York. New York is a great state for RVers.
Beautiful.
He says, if you're down by Acadia, I would go to Quoddy Head Lighthouse. There are beautiful walking trails both sides of the lighthouse along the ocean. Well, we are near there.
Are we going there?
Well, we've got tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Quoddy, yeah. All right, we've been going a while here, so we'll do a couple more quick ones from you, and then we're gonna kind of go. Any questions from you guys out there? Oh, good. I'm so glad somebody out there.
Can't do anything like that.
Oh, she's going like that. I guess she wants me to stop. Okay. Well, we got two of them. Let's go. Tell your name and speak real loud.
From Connecticut, but I don't have a question. I have a comment from what you asked earlier about unexpected events on the trip. Last night, I learned all about my TP release valve, which I had never known.
You learned all about your what?
TP release valve.
What is a CP release?
TP. T is in Tom.
PT release valve.
Tom.
When my rig was winterized and then sanitized and de-winterized, they never redid the connections to the hot water tank. So when I went to turn on my hot water tank last night, the tank heated up, and I realized then the release went outside where you're at the back.
So she had a water pressure issue. Yep.
Water tank is outside.
Yep.
This valve released, and all the water. Oh, wait, I do that in the wrong order. I turned on the heat, and
Yeah.
I realized
I don't-
that
We can't hear you real good. So, but you basically had a water issue.
water came out the side of the rig everywhere.
So you were the campground entertainment last
Full
night.
Water, and I thought, oh my God, they forgot to connect something up. But it's just this release valve that goes if the pressure or the temperature in the hot water tank is too high.
Well, every trip, that's what I say.
So
Every
I
trip,
had to
something goes by.
Realign everything so that wasn't on bypass anymore, and get the water in there, then heat it up,
Yep.
and then I was fine.
Next question.
You first
Yep.
have to put
Yep.
the release valve back down.
Why are there no truck stops in Maine?
Why are there no truck stops in Maine? Did you all notice that coming in yesterday? Truck stops or rest areas. I think there were two, the whole stretch up from Massachusetts. I don't know. But there you go. It would have been nice. It would have been nice to have had some.
It
some
makes
more.
you appreciate the states that do have them.
Yeah. Frank Oberlukovitz. Frank, I don't know how to pronounce it, so I just kind of mutter it like that. That's an old trick they taught me in TV. When you get a quick name like that and you can't pronounce it, just kind of
Say it
mutter
quick.
it. So Frank O. He wants to.
Hi. Do they take U.S. currency in the Maritimes, or do you have to use Canadian money?
No, most places will let you. We've traveled pretty extensively,
Oh.
except for this area through Canada, but it's the same. I'm sure here that most places will take American currency. The reason you don't want to do it, unless it's outside of an ATM or a bank or a money exchanger, is you don't get the best rates. And there is a pretty good rate for the dollar versus the Canadian dollar right now. So what most of us do is use a credit card. Everybody takes a credit card. It handles it all for you. Canadian money is good to have. There are some places, if you're going to pick up some fruits and vegetables along the way, or a small store, they would prefer Canadian money. So
Now, for our kayak trip, we were told to have
Canadian
Canadian currency.
Yep. So that's like, it's not necessarily a store so much as it is a business. So,
No,
So-
Bo.
and
Bo, come
there's
here.
another dog
No.
coming. Bo has
Bo,
decided he's going to
Bo,
protect all these people. So that's the best thing.
right here.
All right.
Bo.
Last question is from Pamela Jenkins Partain. Is that a relative of you guys? Oh, it's Pamela right here. No. You got to come over here.
Bo,
You got to come over here.
Bo, Stop it.
So Pam asked a question.
Backpack Jack got at
Bo.
LL Bean, so for our trip.
I'm sorry. What is this?
Giant
Come on
backpack.
over this way.
Bo.
Uh,
Enough.
yeah, like-
Okay, Bo, you got to go in. Come on.
okay. So what is this?
That's at LL Bean. The backpack Jack got.
So you
at
had
LL
time
Bean
to
for
stop
this
there.
trip.
Oh, is that you? No, that's not you. That's Jack. Yes. And that's a giant backpack that they
There is an LL Bean right up here in Ellsworth also.
yeah.
Yeah, Susie and
that's
I
good.
went there today. Did a quick,
Uh,
but thank you.
All right, we got a technical question and it's Meadowbrook Guide Service would like
Okay.
some advice.
Would love some advice. I just purchased a Coachman Leprechaun 230 FS on a Chevy 3500. Do you recommend an independent inspection?
Do not buy that unless you get an inspection.
Both sit down.
Particularly if it's used. But frankly, you're dealing with the big manufacturers, the Thors, the Coachmen, the Winnebagos. When you're on an entry level or a mid-level unit, those are high production values. They run many of them through. They build a whole bunch of them. Get it inspected. Now, yes, a good inspection costs $1,000 or more, depending on how detailed. But this is probably maybe the second most expensive thing you'll buy other than a house, an RV. So get it inspected. And I guarantee you'll find stuff on there that would give you problems down the road, particularly if it's a used one. But we recommend them on new ones as well.
I think
Get
what
them
is so
inspected.
sad is when people buy a brand new rig and they think they're set to go, and then all these things are not right. And they either discover a couple days out into their trip or, a few weeks into their trip, and then they can't get service. And their rig is tied up for the travel season. Their dreams are certainly put on hold.
And I would look around for people, for dealers, if you're buying new, that, for example, our friend Nick at Sunshine State RVs, when you buy an RV from him, he puts you up for 2 nights in a very nice campground right near him, like 3-4 miles from him. And that way you get to live in that RV for a couple of nights. If there's any problems, you can bring it right back to them. Or if it's a bad problem, they'll come right to you. That's the kind of dealer that you want to pick. And there are a lot of dealers around the country that'll do that. Not the big ones. The big, the Camping Worlds, the General RVs, some of the big chains, they won't let you do that. They tend to sell that stuff and move it out. So look for that kind of a dealer, but get an independent inspection, and it will save you time, money, and peace of mind, really, in the long run.
There are so many things to remember, and I think it's great to take video as much as you can of the explanation and
When they do a walkthrough,
make
yeah.
the salesperson slow down. And you're so excited that you're not thinking clearly about all the different things. And that's why being a member of a group like our community,
The
you
RV
can
lifestyle
get on
community.
there and somebody will help you. I mean, we spent half our time our first trip asking people questions.
I remember our very first trip. We were in the Black Hills, and I was going up a hill, and something on the diesel turbo thing went off, and I went
I
in this.
wonder why.
Yeah, they're always operator error. I know, but we didn't know what it was, and this is all new to us. And we are now in South Dakota, someplace. And I went on, was a Facebook group, and
Somebody kept saying, I don't think you should do that.
who
He
could that
wasn't
be?
using the brake.
Who do you think that
Township
could
wasn't.
possibly be?
What do they have a brake for if you're
Yeah. You're supposed to let the engine slow you down as I'm coming down 60 miles an hour. Well, anyway,
We found out what
check out-
limp home means.
yeah, limp home. We did. We got it fixed. That was another expensive lesson. We have our education for our RV lifestyle has been very costly, but we all find it. All right. Hey, listen, that is it for now. Thank you guys so much. We hopefully will be live next Sunday night from somewhere in the Maritimes. We will be doing social media updates on Saturday. There will be a video on our road trip out to Maine, and lots of tips that we'll pass along from there. And then on the podcast on Wednesday, we'll have an interview with the what is Stacy? She's the executive director. operations director of Fantasy RV Tours, and we'll learn more about what a caravan RV tour and much more details. We'll share some of the stuff we've learned, and have lots more for you.
Well, what I want to share is our sharing how we've learned things the hard way. Maybe that'll make it so that you won't do that. So whatever we do, we learn the hard way.
Yeah,
You don't do it.
I don't have any videos of my mistakes.
yeah, that's right. He said he doesn't have any
Or
videos
life
of his
a
mistakes.
platform.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we go.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's right. With no video, it didn't happen.
But we appreciate what you share.
Well, yeah, we're probably a little too transparent because, but anyway, hey, listen, it's been fun. Thank you guys so much. Thanks to our live audience. You guys say hi to everybody, will you? Say goodbye. Yeah, that was fun. This is just part of the group, and we wheels up at Tuesday morning. We take off
What
tomorrow.
time do
is-
we take off Tuesday morning? Oh,
It
Wagon
is-
masters are leaving at 8:30.
The wagon masters leave at 8:30, and
Tailgunners are leaving
the tail gunners. So between 8:30 and 11, people are out, and we can't wait for it. So we'll share all this. We're going to document as much as we can, and we'll take pictures on the events, and we hope these people will share some of theirs with us, and we'll put those up as well. We'll make lots of videos, because I know there are a lot of you, and I think that touches our hearts. A lot of you who can't travel anymore, and or are just thinking about it and would love to know what it's like out there. So we'll share the good, the bad, the ugly, and all of my mistakes, of which I'm sure there'll be a couple. Hey, thank you guys so much. God bless you all, and it's always so fun to be with you on let's just share your Sunday night with us. We'll see you down the road.
happy trails.